Hello dear student, welcome back to the series of database management system. Next topic in database is aggregate operators and functions, which is very interesting. Now aggregate functions are of 5 types, that is count, sum, min, max and average. So suppose I'll give you the records of 100 students and I'll say okay, find out the average of all the students. So that is going to be difficult for you, correct? To find out all the marks of all the students and then add all the student marks and then divide it by 1000, correct? Again, if I tell you that find out the maximum of the marks of the student, correct? So you manually it is going to be very difficult for you to find out the maximum or minimum marks, correct, or sum of all the marks or count something, correct? So there are some aggregate functions which are going to help out to us to do such mathematical operations on our database, correct? So first function is count function. Count function is used to count the number of rows in a database table. It can work on both numeric and non-numeric data type. Count function uses the count star that returns the count of all the rows in a specified table. Count star considers duplicates and null. For example, see, suppose I want to find out how many total records are there in my product table. So I'll write select count star from product. Okay, so it will give me that total 10 items are there. Next, if I want to find out that how many items are there whose rate is greater than 20. Okay, now it is going to be a little bit difficult, correct? So we are going to write the query as select count star from product where rate is greater than equals to 20. So only 7 records are there, correct? Next, if I want to find out how many total companies are there in my table, correct? So what I am going to use, select distinct, okay? So distinct means what? Different. I told you na, in previous lectures, distinct means different. So I am going to select count distinct company. Here I'm not writing star, okay? I'm writing distinct company from product. So you can see in table only 3 types of companies are there: company 1, company 2 and company 3. So output is going to be 3. So your count function is your work of counting something, and you can provide condition also, okay? Next is sum function. Sum function is used to calculate sum of all selected column. It works on numeric field only, correct? Sum is there, so that means you have to add something. So to add something you need numeric data only, correct? So the syntax is sum or sum all or sum distinct expression. For example, see, I have a table and I want to find out sum of the cost, okay, where quantity is greater than 3. So there are certain records where quantity is less than 3, but I want the quantity greater than 3, not equals to 3 also, correct? So 2 and 3 is not going to be considered. So I'll write select sum of cost from product where quantity is greater than 3. So only those records whose quantity is greater than 3, their cost will get added. So here we have quantity 5, so it is 50, plus we have quantity 5 plus 150, plus quantity 4 we have 120, so we'll get the output as 320. Next we are writing select sum of costs from product where quantity is greater than 3, group by company. So group by company, group by means it is going to give me company wise detail, okay? So it is going to group by company, it will give me group company wise the sum, okay? So company 1 150 and company 3 170. Clear? Next is average function. Name itself suggests the average function is used to calculate the average value of numeric type. Average function returns the average of all non-null values. So similar syntax is average of all or distinct expression. For example, see, suppose I want to find out average cost of my whole table. So what I will do, select average of cost from product. So it will give me average of cost. Now suppose I want to find out if average cost of product whose quantity is greater than 2. So what I will write, select average cost from product where quantity is greater than 2. So only those records whose quantity is greater than 2 will get, their cost only will get average. Okay. Next is max function. Max function is used to find maximum value of certain column. This function determines the largest value of selected value of a column. Max of all or max of distinct. So for example, I want to find out the maximum rate from the product table. So I'll write select max of rate from product. Okay, so output is going to be 30. Okay, now suppose I want to find out, select max of rate from product where the company equals to company 1. Okay, so it will give me the maximum rate of company 1 only. Okay, so company 1's maximum rate is 30 here of item 3, so it will give me 30. Next aggregate function is minimum function. It is opposite of maximum. Minimum function is used to find the minimum value of certain column. This function determines the smallest value of all selected values of a column. Syntax is minimum of all or distinct expression. For example, see, select minimum of rate from product. So minimum of rate is 10. If you want to enclose where clause also, you can put condition here also, select min of rate from product where company equals to 2 or company equals to com2. So the rate of company 2, minimum rate of company 2 will get displayed over here. Clear? So these are my aggregate function: count, sum, average, max and min. Okay, these are my 5 aggregate functions.